Hey guys, back to me back with another video. In today's video, I'm going to be reviewing the Black Series 6-inch action figure of Commander Wolffe. So this is a pretty good figure, I have to say so myself. We're going to be reviewing it and breaking down all its articulation and design features. So starting off with the box, it's a pretty average old school Black Series box with a red back, the Black Series logo at the top, the plastic that they keep the figure inside, then Commander Wolffe, age 4+, warning, small parts, not for kids under 3, then the Wolffe picture, and then the Hasbro logo. Then moving to the side, there's no numbers because it's an exclusive, but you can see Clone Commander Wolffe, and then Black Series logo, and then the bio, so Wolffe CC 3636, not really that important. Then warnings and stuff. Then Wolffe in big letters with Clone Commander Wolffe in the small red letters on the side. And yeah, that's the box. So pretty average Black Series box, nothing really too special about it, but yeah. Moving on to the figure, this is what you get. You get the helmet, which we'll talk about a bit later, but nice helmet. And you get 2 DC 15 pistols, which we'll also talk about later. And then obviously you also get the figure, which we're going to talk about just now. So the figure is a pretty nice figure. Starting off the head, it's got the Temuera Morrison likeness with the eye injury that he got from Sarge Ventress, which if you have that Black Series figure, they would go quite well together. But yeah, you can see lovely job done on the face, nice hair, lovely paint work on the eye, on both eyes, and then pretty stern, grin. Then you got the battle damage on the torso, then the same belt from the Black Series Rex, but with holsters, the dual holsters. Then the kappa, which is like the camo, which is like the cloth that he has, and it's soft goods. Now the trim is meant to be the same grey as the paint on his armour, but I think it's a bit too dark, the grey trim. But yeah, that is one nitpicks I'm not too keen on. Then you've got sort of the grey on the legs. Then with the arm, you've got this sort of emblem and antenna similar to Cody, but not the same shoulder pad used on the Black Series Cody. But yeah, you can see that nice little emblem, then some design. Then more design, and then the hand, this hand, is the left hand, doesn't have a trigger finger, which we'll talk about later. Then you've got sort of dirt design, or battle damage on that arm, similar to what we got going on the torso. Moving on to the other arm, you've got the Wolfpack logo on this shoulder pad, then similar design with the communication device there, and the other hand, the right hand does have a trigger finger, which is quite cool. Then obviously more battle damage. Moving on to the back of the figure, starting off with sort of the usual clone back design, then the back of the belt, back of the camo, and then the legs. Now one thing that I don't like about this figure is that they have nice battle damage all over the top of the body, but the legs have no battle damage whatsoever. It's a bit weird that his arms and helmet and torso covered in battle damage, the legs just fine. Like if you look at the helmet here, it's splattered in battle damage, and the legs just left plain. Doesn't really make sense, but that is their decision. Moving on to the helmet, lovely design, loads of battle damage, and very nice looking Wolffe helmet. This is the Bark Trooper helmet, and you can see all the different designs all over this figure, all of this helmet, great helmet with a rangefinder that is posable. You can move it all around. So be too careful, not too heavy handed in case you snap that off an accident. But it's a nice helmet. Moving on to the articulation of the figure, you can see it's quite a tall figure, and the helmet can just pop right on. As you can see, taking it off is a bit harder than putting it on, but it does come off, and I feel like it might be scratching the nose. You've got to be careful with that you don't break their nose off, so don't be too heavy-handed with that. But yeah, you can see it comes off and it looks good with or without the helmet. Then the articulation, the head can move up and down, which is quite nice. Then it can, obviously there's swivel, but there's not much tilt on the neck. It doesn't really move that much, the neck. There's literally no tilt whatsoever, which isn't really too big of a deal. But yeah, he might struggle spotting clankers. Now the arm can obviously spin round, but one of the problems with this is that it doesn't go that much out to the side because of the shoulder pad that just gets in the way. So you can't do that, but there's swivel, bicep swivel, then you've got the double elbow, which because of the armour plates on the double elbow, it doesn't work as well as it could. Like you can see here, it doesn't really fold up, it's not really good for gun poses because it doesn't really work, especially because it's not even a trigger finger on that hand. We'll get to that later. Then this hand has loads of great movement side to side, but it would be better if the hands were on ball joints, but they're not, so yeah. But this hand has loads of great movement. I just wish it was on a ball joint so you can move it all around. Much better than having it on a hinge. And moving on to the other arm, obviously it will be the same problems, just this time the hand moves up and down, not too much range of movement, but obviously there's a trigger finger. Then you can see the loads of movement and crunch and swivel at the hip. Moves really fluidly, really nice movement. You can see the crunch, goes forward and he goes backwards. Great movement over there. You can see him going backwards and loads of swivel, go right round. And yeah, moving on to the legs, the camera doesn't get in the way, but if you want to move the leg up, then you sort of have to you can't move it directly up, you have to turn to the side if you want to make it go higher, which is something that you will notice with lots of armoured characters. Then the leg doesn't go that far backwards, again because of the armour, and the foot doesn't go backwards at all because of the armour, but it goes quite far forward and is facing ping for rocker. But yeah, that just sort of hinders the movement completely. Then obviously the other leg will be the same. And the pistols, lovely design, great accurate sort of plastic print. You can see really good, and they just slot into the hand, so we'll do the trigger finger hand first. Fits quite nicely. Just sort of have to pry the fingers open and twist and turn. Keep moving it around and it will eventually slot into place. You can see you've got it in here. And yeah, so now your Wolffe can shoot at anyone who annoys him, any clankers, he'll be shooting them down, but I do often find it is quite a struggle to put these blasters in his hands. Meanwhile, the other hand is pretty much useless because there's no trigger finger and it doesn't really hold the gun properly. So you have to sort of squeeze it in. Then once you get it in, it's in, but it's not the best. And you can see that it doesn't really work. But you can have them in the holsters, which works just as well. You can just take them and put them in the holsters, but you can't really get him into a good looking firing position because he just looks like he's shooting all over the place. So that's why if you want to display him with the guns in the holsters, you can. I'm not sure how I'm going to display him. Maybe I'll mix and match. I have one of the gun in the holster, one in the hand. I don't know, but yeah. The guns are pretty good, it's just the hands that are the mistake. But yeah, for the final verdict, I do think this is a good Black Series action figure. I definitely think it's worth picking up if you want to get it. I'll leave a link for the on Hasbro's website. We can buy it. It's pre-order for January, so you can pre-order it and it will arrive in January 2022. But in the meantime, if you could subscribe, that would mean the world to me.